We are live here on Jets Media, baby. Free agency frenzy right around the corner. There's so much we're going to have to get into in today's live stream. It's been a minute since your boy's been live. I've been traveling a lot. I've been going to the Senior Bowl, the Super Bowl, just got home from the Combine. But we're back with the live streams. I missed you guys. I've been uploading videos, of course. The content's still been pumping out. More pre-recorded videos, daily trending news, going over topics. But I wanted to bring the live streams back because free agency is next week. We have a big update in this live we're going to be breaking down regarding Breece Hall and some new free agents being linked to the New York Jets. There's a lot we're going to break down. I also want to go deeper into what I saw from the Combine because being at the Combine was a really cool experience for me. I got to learn a lot about some things that I'm excited to reveal with you guys. I was able to ask a lot of questions to these prospects, evaluate them on the field for the drills with my own eyes. So we're going to get into business. We're also in a brand new studio here, guys. I just admire the blank wall because it's not going to last. All right. I still got to put my energy into building out the backdrop because we are officially in a new apartment in a new area where I live, and we're excited to be here, man. So make sure you guys do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button as we're live here on Jets Media because there's some massive Jets news heading into free agency frenzy, Breece Hall's update, free agent targets, you name it. So do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm really excited. And my boy Zachary asks, when is the Roundtable Sports live streams coming back? Well, I'm glad you asked this question because Fourth and Forever is making the return tomorrow, baby. All right. Fourth and Forever will be back. We're excited, man. You know, off-season stuff, there's no off-season, it feels like, for a content creator like myself. The season ends, but then boom, coaching staff, boom, Senior Bowl, boom, Super Bowl. It never ends. I'm not complaining, man. I'm very, very fortunate to do this for a living, and being able to be at these events has been a life-changing experience for me, bro. So I'm dope. I'm very excited, and I want to give a quick shout-out to everybody in the chat that's with me. We got Hennessy Heisman. I know Hennessy's been commenting on my videos like, yo, Richie, where the live streams been out, bro? Like, where you been? Where you been? I'm back, all right? I've been prioritizing other things, trying to situate myself here. A shout out to my boy Hennessy. Edgar's in the chat. Hit the like button. I appreciate that, man. Hit the like button. Greg's in the chat. Let's effing go. Guys, let me know where you're from. Where are you tuning in from across the world? Are you in New York? Are you in New Jersey? Are you in Florida, California, Montana? Are you in London? Where are you? Okay. Where the heck are you? Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. It's cool to see the familiar faces in the chat right now. It really, really is. And bang, we got our first super chat of the show. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thanks for the work that you do to bring us the news and entertainment. I try my very best. And, you know, super chats like this really does help my energy. It helps, you know, a lot more than you know, funding the trips that I go on and traveling the country for you guys and being able to do what I do. So thank you so much to Creace22. I hope I said that right, for the $5 generous super chat. So everybody give him some dono hype in the chat, please, if you did not already. Would greatly, greatly appreciate if you were able to show him some dono hype because he deserves it, man. Super chats go a long way here on the channel. My boy, Mr. Bonesy effing Richie was grinding in it, Indy. I see you, Richie. Hashtag hustle. Man, I was determined to get there, even though the storm had other plans. I'm still upset to this day that I wasn't able to be there to interview Aaron Glenn, because if I was there, I would have got a question off to Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. I was determined. I knew exactly what I was going to ask, but wasn't able to because of the storm. We got Maryland in the house. Love that. New York is in the house. Wildwood, New Jersey, man. I remember I went to Wildwood for after prom. St. Louis is in the house. We got Charlotte. Oh, my goodness. Everybody's tuning in. Palm Beach, which is great to see. West Texas. Can you believe that? Connecticut's here. We got Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. South Carolina. Malik on Facebook is tuning in. Central California is in the house. Nebraska. Can you believe it, man? Jets Nation's everywhere, man. That's the one thing I love about it. Alabama. Hit that like button, folks, because we're just getting started on this Jets Media Live. If you want to see more live streams, let me know in the chat if you guys enjoy the lives, because it has been a little bit. I'm going to try to find a day or a time of the day that really fits into a daily structure of like, okay, what time is Jets Media live? It's either going to be an early morning or like around this time. Let me know what you guys think, or maybe a late evening. I'm trying to figure out what's the perfect time of day during the week to go live. And I think that it's been a struggle to find that perfect sweet spot. But if you guys have any insight of when you think is the best time, let me know. We got Florida's in the house. Absolutely. Let's do it. Okay. Absolutely love it. So let's get into it. Let's get into the news. Please hit that thumbs up button if you did not already, because there's a lot we're going to be breaking down in today's video, man. And I'm excited about that. I'm very, very excited about that. So the first piece of news we're going to get into, Breece Hall. Is he about to get extended long-term? Because there is a report coming out that the New York Jets are very aggressive to try to keep Breece Hall here on a 3-year contract extension. The transition tag deadline is on Tuesday. And if they do not come to an agreement, then that is what's going to happen. There's some confidence, actually, that Breece Hall will be here long-term, according to Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic, saying that the Jets will get a new contract done at some point. Now, this is big news, folks. We need this to be the case. We need Breece Hall here. And I think that Darren Muji doing whatever he possibly can to keep him here is extremely important. You look at this offense that is led by Garrett Wilson. We don't know who the quarterback is. There's a foundation on offensive line. You have solid tight ends, but no one that's like elite just yet. Who knows what Mason Taylor is going to become. But if you let Breece go, bro, this offense, playmaking-wise, takes a big step backwards. Keep Breece here long-term, not just for this upcoming season. They're trying to get a long-term deal done. Will that happen? I'm not too sure. I wish I can give you guys an update on that. I don't have an update on that. And I think that what the latest Jets news really tells me is that they really want to prioritize Breece. They did not trade him at the deadline for a reason. I think that Breece Hall is a part of the future. I think that him being implemented into a Frank Reich style of offense, when they're going to bring in a quarterback that's going to be more of a pocket passer, throwing the ball vertically, establishing the run game, using Breece as a weapon out of the backfield. I really do hope that this does get done. And if they do not come to an agreement on a contract, then they will slap the transition tag on Breece Hall, which will allow them to pay the Breece Hall $11 million around there. And then it's also going to give other teams some opportunities to match whatever offer the Jets are giving. And I think that the Jets are going to have some rights, and they're not going to let him walk. They're going to match any deal that other teams are going to offer him. And my hope is that the Jets figure it out. And Darren Muji, when he spoke to the media, he made me feel a little bit more confident that the Jets are going to get a deal done, at least in my eyes. Let me know your thoughts about that. I think that it's going to get a deal done. I think that you look around the league, you look around where the Jets are trying to prioritize, they got to keep their own. And they traded away Mr. Jermaine Johnson, which was a big deal that happened, a huge deal that happened at the Combine. That one came out of nowhere. And when I say nowhere, I mean like the timing of it, right? I didn't expect it to happen during the Combine. But I did say throughout this entire process of the offseason, how many times do you hear me say the Jets have a decision to make? And that decision is between Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald. And what do? They decided to trade away Jermaine. They're prioritizing Will McDonald. And I think that was a very big trade that Darren Muji made. I love Jermaine Johnson, but the reality is he's entering the last year of his contract. He's 27 years old. He had an Achilles injury. He never really lived up to the potential because of that Achilles. I think if he did not tear his Achilles that season, 2 years ago, he was about to go nuclear. But unfortunately not the case. And the Jets need a big boy up the middle in their new 3-4 defense. And Devondre Sweat is exactly that. He's younger. He's cheaper. You're swapping out someone that was on a 1-year deal for like $13 million for someone that's on a 2-year deal for $1 million a year for 2 seasons. That's a no-brainer for me. You're freeing up cap space. Yeah, you replaced Jermaine Johnson with the 2nd overall pick. This is an absolutely beautiful move from the New York Jets, but I don't think the Jets are done. I think that this is one of the moves that I think the Jets are going to continue to do. They're going to evaluate this roster, going to look at guys like Jermaine, for example. Is Jamien Sherwood part of the future? Is guys like, I don't even know who else is tradable at this point besides Jamien Sherwood. Garrett Wilson's untouchable. He's not going anywhere. They're not trading anybody on the offensive line. I don't see Will McDonald getting traded. I really don't. I think that would be a stupid decision because they can pick up his fifth-year option and they'll have Will McDonald on their contract for the next 2 years. I think that he could be a premier edge rusher in this league. I genuinely do believe that. He got his sacks in bunches last year. I think with Dunbar becoming the defensive line coach, you never know what Will McDonald can become. You draft an Arvell Reese. You have a defensive line all of a sudden that looks pretty freaking good on paper. Reese off the edge or David Bailey or Reuben Bain. Okay. You got Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, Will McDonald, and now Tavondre Sweat. And you're probably going to bring in another edge rusher in free agency to round it out. I love it, man. I think that the defensive line is coming together. But going back into Breece Hall, all the rumors and all the reports about that, I really do believe that the Jets are in a very interesting spot because Breece Hall is one of those guys that the Jets did not trade away for a reason. And I think that the negotiations that they're in right now is extremely interesting. So here's more on Breece Hall. According to Connor Hughes, this is the latest news you need to know. The Jets are actively negotiating with Hall and hope to reach an agreement on a contract near 3 years in length per sources. Darren Muji plans to use the transition tag if the sides cannot finalize an extension, though that remains a fallback option that the team would prefer to avoid. The transition tag is projected at $11.3 million for 2026, establishing a baseline for negotiations. League sources expect the sides to land between that figure and the $14.2 million franchise tag. A 3-year, $36 million deal, an average of $12 million per year, is one deemed fair by two teams also in the market for an upper-end running back. I think that will be a no-brainer for me. If I'm the Jets, I offer a 3-year deal worth 36 and don't even look back. He's 24, 25 years old, Breece Hall. I think that this would get it done. I mean, if your offensive philosophy, folks, is to run the freaking football, you got to get Breece Hall here because Braylon Allen's coming back from injury. I like the running back room around him. And Breece finally hit 1,000 yards for the first time in his career. And I don't know about you guys, but I think Breece hasn't even scratched the surface of what he can become. You know what I'm afraid of is we let Breece walk. He goes to the Patriots or, I don't know, name any team in the league that needs a running back, and he goes crazy. Rushes for 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. We've seen this story way too many times, Jets fans. Let me say that again. Way too many times we've seen that story of our own player that we drafted leaves the Jets and becomes a star. Jermaine Johnson is probably going to be the next example. Just saying. But, we don't want that to happen. We just don't. I want him to become a star with the Jets. Okay? So the Jets got to prioritize that. That's exactly what they're doing. And I think that it's only a matter of time. Again, the deadline is coming up. So the Jets do got to figure out when they're going to extend him because it needs to happen sooner rather than later. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments about that. Hit that thumbs up button if you're not already tuned in. Now, there's a lot of other news regarding the New York Jets that I wanted to get into with you guys, but hit that thumbs up button if you did not already on your way into the show. Cannot thank you guys enough for being here live on Jets Media. We got a super chat from my boy Lascelles. Who is the prospect shock you the most in the combine? I think Mike Washington, the running back from Arkansas, that was someone that completely blew up the combine, 4.33 40-yard dash. That was awesome to see. I think that, some quarterbacks that kind of separated themselves a little bit. Drew Aller, I was very impressed with Drew Aller. I was very intrigued by him entering the combine, but I didn't expect him to kind of blow me away that much. I really didn't. I thought Drew Aller was a guy that was supposed, the thing about Drew Aller is he crumbled in the big games last year. He did. And now you're seeing what he did at the combine. You're like, okay, well, some people are like, well, this is Zach Wilson all over again. We can't look at a guy throwing the ball in shorts and expect him to be good when it matters the most. That's all true. But the thing about Drew Aller that I like is he's got an arm, bro. He can absolutely stretch the ball down the field. He's 6'5". I think that the type of quarterback that Frank Reich is looking for is a Drew Aller, who's supposed to be a first-round pick last year. He does have concerns, man. He's not a perfect prospect. I think that his footwork needs to be improved, but I think that Drew Aller definitely helped his stock. Where could he go in the draft? Listen, last year nobody saw Jackson Dart go in the first round besides me. I mean, I was telling you guys about Jackson Dart for months. No one listened to me. Some people did, but no one did. Some people were like, Richie, Jackson Dart's not going in the first round. Are you out of your mind? He went in the first round, and we'll see what he does with the Giants, with Harbaugh. But I think other guys like Lascelles brings up, Taylon Green, he was phenomenal. He was at the Senior Bowl, and at the Combine, he ran a 4.37, the highest vertical of any quarterback in Combine history, and broad jump. So he was phenomenal. Okay. So I think that at the end of the day, there's a lot of guys that separated themselves at the Combine. I'm excited to see them continue to flourish. Now, Tai Simpson is another guy that looked very good at the Combine. Tai Simpson is a prospect that's going to be linked to the Jets. You know, I reported on X that I have a source connected with Tai Simpson, and the reason why he was really being all in on the New York Jets at the Combine, telling Jake Asman, the JETS Jets Chan, and saying that he loved the Jets in those interviews, is because he wants to be a Jet at that second overall pick. He doesn't want to fall to 16. He doesn't want to be a Jet at 16. He wants to be a Jet at pick number 2. And obviously, he's going to do whatever it takes to get to number 2. He makes more money that way. And the reason why that's a big deal, in my opinion, some people are like, oh, well, breaking news. A prospect wants to be, you know, the highest pick in the draft. Well, yeah. Let's not forget that the narrative around the Jets a few months ago was no one wants to be a Jet. Dante Moore stayed in college to avoid the Jets. So I think it's pretty interesting report to find out that Tai Simpson wants to be a Jet. It's not something that he's avoiding. You know, how many times have you heard that some prospects are avoiding the Jets and they don't want to be the Jets, like vice versa? So I personally think that report that I sent out actually has some interesting, you know, substance to it, that he wants to be a New York Jet. So here was the tweet I made out that I posted on Saturday. That source, quarterback Tai Simpson, is showing a lot of love to the New York Jets at the Combine because he wants to get drafted at pick number 2. He connected with the Jets coaching staff, believes in the regime. He wants to be the second overall pick. So I don't think Tai Simpson is going to be available at 16. I think that there's a lot of teams that want him. I think the Dolphins and the Rams are 2 teams to watch. I think the Browns are another team that could be interested in a Tai Simpson. So if the Jets love Tai, they're going to have to make that decision. Is he someone that the Jets should, you know, draft too early? I mean, the quarterback position is to the point where if you believe in your guy, I don't even care where you draft him. If he hits and becomes the franchise quarterback, I don't care where you draft him. Some people would prefer him to get drafted at 33. Obviously, that's the best case scenario because then you're coming away with 2 firsts and your quarterback. But if they love him and they feel like he's the guy, draft him as high as you want. But, of course, that's a big risk. You don't want to overdraft him and then he gets drafted at pick 2 or higher, or they trade up from 16 or something, and then he's a bust, and the Jets go backwards and everyone's fired. So that's why it's a big deal to make sure you hit on these prospects at the quarterback position. So I think it's very interesting and very intriguing to see it. And I think a lot of people are concerned with this regime, you know, going after the proper coach, the coaching staff going after the proper quarterback. The one thing I will say is Frank Reich gives me a little bit more confidence that this football team knows what they're doing in terms of the quarterback position. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a little bit more confident about that. When I was at the Combine on Saturday, I did notice this, which was interesting. If you guys missed this post, a lot of NFL scouts and coaches were leaving after the wide receivers finished their 40-yard dashes right before the second group of quarterbacks, guys like Tai Simpson, Garrett Nussmeier, and Sawyer Robertson and Luke. No, he was not in that second group. I forgot who else was in that second group. But the second group of quarterbacks were preparing to throw, and everybody left, but Frank Reich did not. Frank Reich was still there. So here's all the coaches and scouts of the NFL leaving. They're like, all right, my job here is done. And then right here, if you see where my mouse is, that's Frank Reich's head right there. Yep, I zoom in on him. That's Frank Reich there. There's a video that I took. He's on the phone talking to somebody about what he's seeing. So I think that Frank Reich being there, it gives me a little bit, just a little bit more confidence. Like, let me ask you a real question, Jets fans. Do you feel more confident in Tanner Engstrand being the offensive coordinator still, or Frank Reich? Because I saw Frank Reich there sitting there talking to a lot of different people. He's a presence. He's a face in the NFL world that coaches and scouts respect. And players that are going into the NFL are going to respect. Someone that's been an NFL player, played the quarterback position, been a coordinator and a head coach. Like, he's done everything. So I think that having him makes me feel a little bit more confident that we know what we're doing. And his evaluation of the quarterbacks is going to be extremely interesting. Now, there's a lot of people, talking about where the Jets are going to go at the quarterback position in free agency, where they're going to go in the trade market. Are they going to go after Malik Willis? Are they going to go after Jacoby Brissett, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr? Hey, man, a week from now, we're going to be talking about the free agency, and I'm excited about that. I really, really do. I really am excited to see where the Jets go in free agency at the quarterback position. I think there's going to be a lot of intriguing guys. Kyler Murray has been linked to the Jets, according to some people. I don't know if I see that, though. Like, I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know what I'm missing, man. I think that Kyler Murray is exactly what the Jets do not need, but we'll see. We'll see about that, because whatever the Jets do at quarterback, it's going to be massive. Who's going to start at week 1? Is there going to be a rookie behind the guy? Only time will tell, of course. But let me know in the chat, who do you guys want the Jets to be the starting quarterback in week number 1? I think there's a lot of interesting debates about that. I really do believe that a lot of people are going to have some interesting discussions. Maybe there's quarterbacks out there that no one's talking about, like guys like Tanner McGee from Philadelphia, Will Levis. I mean, there's quarterbacks out there that some people do want, some people that don't want. So let me know where you stand in the comments about that. But more things regarding these New York Jets that I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about some free agency, man. Free agency is right around the corner. The Jets got some moves to make, okay? And if you guys do not already follow the Jets Roundtable on X, make sure you do so. My man is absolutely killing the coverage that runs this. I do not run this account. I manage it, but I don't run it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Justin Fields situation. Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic reported that as for Justin Fields, he'll be released at some point, though the Jets say they are in no rush to make that move. Tyrod Taylor is open to returning if the Jets want him as a veteran backup again. So this isn't really breaking news. This isn't anything that I'm like shocked about. I think that something that the Jets are going to be doing is prioritizing a veteran. Tyrod is someone that is linked to the Jets that could still be here. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but Justin Fields' time is done. We don't need to evaluate why or why not. I think it's just inevitable that he is gone. Okay. I mean, what more do we need to say about Justin Fields? Okay. No disrespect to Justin Fields, but that time has shipped. But this is a very interesting thing right here. According to Tony Pauline, who I saw at the Combine, the Jets are targeting veteran linebacker Demario Davis. Could this be the return of Demario, who was with the Jets multiple times? Man, I talked to Demario Davis at the Super Bowl and asked him his thoughts about Leonard Williams. He's awesome, man. I mean, this is a guy that would come and bring that veteran leadership immediately, someone that has ties to the New York Jets. Would you guys want the Jets to target Demario Davis? I think Alex Anzalone is another guy. They're not going to bring both of them in. I think that they're going to bring in at least one of them. If I had to guess, my prediction would be Alex Anzalone seems like more of a guy that's going to be linked to the New York Jets, even though the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also linked to Alex Anzalone. So it's not just the Jets are going to be interested in this guy. There's going to be a lot of teams interested in Alex Anzalone, but let me know your thoughts about that, because, Alex Anzalone is a guy that some Jets fans don't want because he's, I don't know why he's too old in your eyes, but I disagree. I just disagree. Like, this is not about old, bro. And Demario Davis is also up there in age. And Darren Muji literally revealed what the Jets' plans are going to be in free agency, by the way, which is going after veterans. Guys, we have young players on this team. We're the youngest roster in football. And we're about to bring in like ridiculous more wave of young talent in the draft. You don't need to go young in free agency. The free agency is for veteran leadership to come into the building. The draft is for the youth. So for the people that just want guys that are young in free agency, open up your mind, because free agency is all about bringing in veterans, okay? And retaining your own young talent like Breece Hall. The reason why I'm saying that is Harrison Phillips is a perfect example of a veteran that this Jets football team needs. They need to get rid of that cancerous, truculent mindset, according to Harrison Phillips. And the way they do that is bring in veterans that knows what it takes to win football games, to unlock the minds of these young players, to instill a culture in that building, not listen to the outside world, focus on what's going in-house. So Alex Anzalone is an extension of Aaron Glenn. Brian Duker was with him as well. in Detroit. It's a no-brainer. I think that will be a really big signing for the New York Jets. I understand he's 31-ish years old. If you can get him on a good deal, he's somebody that needs to be here. With Aaron Glenn being more hands-on in the defense, calling plays and everything, I think it's a no-brainer. Bring in Alex Anzalone. And it's not just going to be him. I think that the Jets are going to bring in guys that have connections with the Detroit Lions elsewhere. According to Zach Rosenblatt, he says, expect the Jets to pursue some free agents with ties to Aaron Glenn and his staff this offseason. There is an obvious one, Alex Anzalone, but there are others to keep in mind too. So it's not just Alex Anzalone. Amik Robertson from Detroit is another name to watch. I think that is a big-time potential for the New York Jets as well. And, free agency is just heating up. And I think that a week from now, there's going to be a lot of different guys that the New York Jets are going to be signing. They do have a lot of money to play around with in free agency, which is big. The funny thing about it is we talked about it already, but the Jets have the most dead cap in the NFL, but they also have top 3 money to spend, which is absolutely big. Another veteran that is linked to the New York Jets is Minkah Fitzpatrick, according to Rich Cimini of ESPN. This could be another really interesting addition for the New York Jets. They need, if there's one position on this team that is easily the worst and has the least amount of talent out of anybody, it's the safety room. And Minkah is another veteran that the Jets could target, and then they draft some guys to fill out the team, fill out that position. I would be down for Minkah Fitzpatrick. If he's released, I would prefer that. I don't really want to trade him. Brian Duker was just with Minkah in Miami for a year, our new defensive coordinator. So he obviously has a connection with Minkah after that year. And the one thing that was good with the Dolphins last year was their secondary. Is Minkah Fitzpatrick washed up a little bit? Is he really past his prime? You can argue that. But again, I don't know about you guys, but we need veterans that knows how to play at a high level. He's 29 years old. I think that he's a solid vet. He's going to be 30 years old this upcoming season. And he is somebody that if I'm the Jets, I absolutely would consider bringing him in. You got to look at this from a different perspective. If you're looking at just guys that you think is going to help this team win right away, it's more about how can they come help impact this football team, get out of the gutter. And he actually was not bad last year. He was graded out as the 7th best safety in the entire NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. His coverage grade was 9th in the NFL among safeties. His pass rush grade was 13th among safeties, and his run defense was 17. He was not bad last year. He had an interception, which was more than any other player on our team last year. 6 pressures, 57 solo tackles, 27 receptions allowed. This is something that this is better than any safety we had on the team last year. My opinion, you go after Minkah Fitzpatrick, you draft a rookie, you have a safety room now of Minkah Fitzpatrick, a rookie, Malachi Moore, and then probably sign another one in free agency. You never know. I think that a Minkah Fitzpatrick scenario would be very intriguing. I'd be down for that. I really would be. Let me know in the chat. Would you be down for a Minkah Fitzpatrick addition for the New York Jets? Because the Jets are not going to go after these big-time assets that's going to cost a lot of money. They're not going to go after the big names. They're not going to spend a lot of money. Minkah Fitzpatrick is a perfect example of a guy that you're not going to spend a lot of money on, but he's a big name. He can provide an impact right away. You go after him, Alex Anzalone, and another veteran in free agency. All of a sudden, the defense is getting rounded up. And I also heard from the Combine that the Jets are going to be prioritizing the defense this offseason. And they absolutely should for this reason. The NFL is entering a new era of football, which basically means it's a defensive-minded league now. It went through a defensive-minded league years and years and years ago, and then it went into more offensive-minded, and everyone always told me, Richie, the Jets need an offensive coordinator at head coach in order to win this league. No, they don't. The Seattle Seahawks just won a Super Bowl because of their defensive-minded head coach, Mike Macdonald. Sam Darnold, that offense was very good, of course. It's not like you can win without an offense, but you can win in this league with a defensive-minded head coach. Mike Vrabel, defensive-minded for the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Okay? There's a lot of defensive-minded guys running their defense. And the fact that Aaron Glenn is now going to call plays on defense makes me a little bit more confident. Jesse Minter with the Ravens, new head coach for them. He's going to be calling plays on the defense. Even Robert Saleh, who did not call plays with the Jets when he was the head coach, he's going to be calling plays with the Tennessee Titans. So there's a new wave of defensive-minded coaches coming into the NFL as now more defensive coordinators. Aaron Glenn made a mistake last year. He should have been calling plays from the jump. He's not making that same mistake again. He's going to be more hands-on. He said it's a superpower. People are going to run away with that. Now there's a lot of pressure on Aaron Glenn to do it. So I think that the defense should absolutely be better this year, but it also comes with the personnel. It needs to be upgraded. There needs to be a way big upgrade on this defense, personnel-wise. We're going to get a potential big piece at number 2. Hey, what if the Jets go defense like all in this draft? What if 3 of their 4 picks in the top 44 are defensive players? I wouldn't be shocked. The offense is a little bit like, if I had to ask you a question right now, Jets fans, right before free agency starts, the foundation that the Jets have on offense compared to the defense, which side of the ball do you think has a little bit more substance to it? Now, the hole at quarterback makes the offense feel a little bit more open, but hear me out. The offensive line and Garrett Wilson, and say the Jets keep Breece, which it seems like they're going to, and then you look at the defense, like all the studs are on the offense. There are some studs on the defense. You know, Jawan Briggs feels like an upcoming stud that we got last year. Will McDonald, I'm not even going to put him in the stud category. He's got to prove a little bit more to me. Jamie Sherwood's coming off a regression year. Azareye'h Thomas is potential, but I'm not putting him in that stud. So you look at the offense compared to the defense, I think it's a little bit better, which the reason why I'm saying that is I think the Jets are going to really heavily invest in this defense in this offseason, personnel-wise. They're going to spend a lot of money on that side of the ball. They're going to draft on that side of the ball. And of course, the big question is the quarterback. That's the big thing. Out of everything we're talking about, quarterback means more than anything. They can get the best players on defense, the best players on offense, but if you don't have a freaking good quarterback, no one cares. And who that quarterback is, we have no idea. OG Jake with a super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He sent this in, and he says, you see JJ's first tweet as a Titan is to find a golf course in Tennessee. Get these Salah apologists off my squad. I did not see that. I wish JJ nothing but love and the best, but that's hilarious. Man, the Jets are completely getting rid of the Robert Saleh regime. It was Sauce Gardner, perfect example. I mean, the fact that the Jets got rid of Mr. Sauce Gardner. Raise your hand if you saw the Jets trading Sauce Gardner at the deadline. My hand's not raised. I didn't see that coming. And that was a great trade. As much as I love Sauce, as much as you Jets fans loved or hated Sauce, that trade set up the Jets for a lot of flexibility this offseason. So all eyes on deck. So we have some breaking news coming out. A new veteran is available in free agency as the Commanders have informed Pro Bowl corner Marshawn Lattimore they intend to release him before the new league year begins, a move that will save them $18.5 million. Could he be a target for the Jets? I don't think so. I don't think this, like when I say the Jets got to get veterans, I think they have a veteran in the corner, but the Jets are going to, that is one position that I think some people are undervaluating in terms of where the Jets are going to put their resources. They're going to bring in a lot of new corners. They are. I think Brandon Stevens is not a long-term person at that spot. Azareye'h Thomas, the Jets have a lot of confidence in, but he had a very up and down rookie season. If I'm the Jets, bro, I really heavily invest in the corner room. Is Jarvis Brownlee the starting corner and the slot moving forward? I don't know. So interesting move there from Washington, but I think we'll see where the Jets go from there. Okay, we'll see. So this was a report from Tony Pauline that talks about what I was saying about the defense, that the Jets plan to invest heavily to upgrade their defense this offseason. He says the team has openly admitted to people in closed-door meetings that they have a ton of holes on that side of the line of scrimmage and that they will be addressed. While I've mentioned the safety position in several articles, sources tell the team has said they will also look to sign multiple corners this season. So the secondary is going to have a massive overhaul. I think that the Jets are going to be smart to do that as well. They should, no doubt. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Okay? So that's big. Absolutely big. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to open this up for some questions. Take some callers. We're having some fun here, man. I missed you guys. I missed going live. I missed talking to you. I missed interacting with you. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, man. It feels good to be back home. I'm excited to get into a new routine and all that fun stuff. So if you guys want to call in, make sure you guys do so. I put the link at the top of the chat. If you do want to call in, feel free. And guys, I just realized we have 80 likes with 179 people live watching. Let's get this to 100 freaking likes right now, baby. 100 likes. Let's get it right now. 100%. Smash the thumbs up button. Let's get this to over 100 likes. I think we can do that, folks. I think we can do that. So hit the like button. If you want to come in and talk ball, feel free to do so, as we are live here on Jets Media for a free agency frenzy type of show preview, if you will, because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming your way all throughout this free agency class. McGee, Mills, or Brissett would be the right move at quarterback. We'll see. They certainly do. Knowing Glenn is on the hot seat, he is going to want to prioritize the defense to save his job. The defense needs, like, if the defense takes a big jump next year, that is definitely to save his job potentially. So you're right. No doubt. That is big. No Kyler Murray. Nah. Does anybody want Kyler Murray? Is there a Jets fan out there that's like, nah, man, hear me out? They should go after Kyler. Is there? Do those fans exist? You feel me? Like, do those fans actually exist? Curious. Yes or no to Kyler Murray? Let me know in the chat right now. Yes or no to Kyler Murray? Let me know in the chat right now. Because I feel like not a lot of people want him, if any, at quarterback. Right? Richie, who do you want at quarterback? That's a great question. I'm so conflicted because the options out there are not flashy. So it's really about what quarterback does Frank Reich and this regime feel like they can get the most out of this season. Jacoby Brissett, I don't know, man. I'm more looking at the draft than I'm looking at for veterans right now. Like, I feel like a Drew Aller, a Tai Simpson. Like, the Jets met with all these quarterbacks. Every single quarterback I talked to at the combine said they had a meeting with the Jets. Every single one. Carson Beck had a very good meeting with the Jets. So, which one of these quarterbacks are more Jet-centric? We'll see. Any possibility Jets bring in both Anzalone and Demario Davis? Our outside guys can be Reese and McDonald. Those guys all together in a 3-4 would be fun to watch all together. Let's get crazy. I mean, if the Jets get Anzalone and Demario Davis and they draft Arvell Reese, that would actually be kind of nuts. I don't see it happening. I do not see that happening at all. At all. Do you guys see that happening? No way. I mean, let's look at the 3-4 system real quick. So you got Will McDonald here. You got Tavondre Sweat filling in and Juwan Briggs sometimes. You got Arvell Reese. You got all these different positions. Jamie and Sherwood, Alex Anzalone. The 3-4 system, it's not going to be just a 3-4 like cut and dry. It's going to be more of a hybrid. They're going to have some 4-3 principles as well. Poor Rich seems fried from this team and travels. Appreciate you, Rich. I am fried, but I'm still here with you guys. You feel me? Richie, how do you feel about Levis from the Titans? Yeah, I mean, like, do we want to go after someone that's like broken and we want to rebuild them up? Or do you want to get someone fresh? You know, like Justin Fields, we got last year. He was a broken prospect and we tried to fix him. I want to start from scratch. And the way you do that is you bring in a veteran to help be in the room and you draft a young guy. So he's not broken. He just needs to be developed. Don't let Derek Carr fly under the radar. Yeah, I'm not going to let him under. I think there is a world where that does happen. Like a room of a Derek Carr and a Drew Aller or a Kirk Cousins and a Tai Simpson, like that's something I'd like. Richie, would you trade up from 16 for someone like Styles? Styles is not falling in the draft. That man, you talk about the combine. The combine, man. The combine was fun, and Sonny Styles broke the internet with his ability at the combine. So don't hold your breath. If the Jets want Sonny Styles, they got to take him at 2. You feel me? If you want him, you got to get him at 2, which I don't know. Like, I would not be bad. Like, I would not be mad if the Jets go Sonny Styles at pick 2, let me just say. I mean, he's a dog, all right? Like, look at this edit.
We're here with Sonny Styles Jr., Ohio State linebacker, formerly safety. I don't think Rand knows the story, and I just read it. I want to get confirmation. Where your dad gave you the name Sonny, right? And what's the backstory behind that?
It's from the movie Godfather. When I was a kid, I was a little bit of a hothead, like, ooh, makes sense. Things like that. So he started.
You could tell, bro. Like, he's gonna be a freaking beast. Beast mode. He's gonna be a dog. But is that gonna be with the Jets or another team? We'll see. I'm a big fan of him. How can you not be? How can you not be? Now, when it comes to the Kyler Murray stuff, this was really where the report from Matthew Berry started heating up. I don't know if it's even worth saying, but
all right, so I'm at the NFL Combine, and you know what happens at the NFL Combine? Rumors. Look, I'm not a journalist. I'm not reporting this as news. I'm just telling you, you go out late at night at bars, you hear a bunch of stuff, and some of the rumors I've heard about quarterbacks are fascinating. Now, everyone wants Malik Willis to go to the Miami Dolphins. Everyone says, oh, that's going to happen. I heard no. I heard Malik Willis is getting at least $30 million and is going to be the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. Makes sense. One brother, LaFleur, had him. Now the other brother, LaFleur, in charge. Makes sense that the brothers are talking, saying, go get yourself some Malik Willis. So I think that'd be a good fit. I heard that Kyler Murray, not on Minnesota's radar, really. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in the Jets. That's one I keep hearing a decent amount. Kyler Murray to the Jets.
Kyler Murray to the Jets. And some people be like, well, Matthew Berry's not a journalist. Why is he saying these things? After being at the Combine, I understand more where the rumors come from now. Because the Combine, the way it's set up, is you're there in Indianapolis for a week, and you have literally nothing to do other than hang out with NFL people. You got the convention center where Radio Row and the interviews are. You have the Lucas Oil Stadium, and then you have restaurants and bars all in one tiny little area. The coaches and the scouts and the reporters and the media, they're all hanging out together all night long. Which, by the way, why was Aaron Glenn caught sleeping? Because he was out at 3 a.m. the night prior with, and I know this because I was there, with Chris Banjo. He was out there at a steakhouse, probably talking ball, meeting with agents, trying to convince them to bring their clients to the Jets. By the way, the next morning, they traded away Jermaine Johnson. There's a lot of like no sleep going on, which is why when Aaron Glenn was sitting there in the suite and he got caught sleeping, I didn't care. I mean, I was also at the Combine, bro. I know what it's like. It is slow burning, bro. Slow burning. Slow burning. You know what I mean? And when slow burning, they make the Combine look very entertaining. Very entertaining on TV. Because when you're at the stadium, bro, you're like sitting there and you're like, man, this is boring. So I'm not making any excuses for Aaron Glenn. It's not a great look, of course, but I understand why he was sleeping. Being out at 3 a.m. the night prior, trading Jermaine Johnson away, and then being there and like, do you really need to watch the 40-yard dashes with your own eyes? I mean, what are you missing? Anything? Come on. And like, yes, people can criticize him, but bro, elevating it to the level that they had, just making memes about him, just give me a break, bro. Give me a break. It's just the media doesn't stop, bro. The media doesn't stop. But it's okay. We got to get through it. How was St. Elmo's? It was unreal, bro. It was unreal, actually. I had a great time. They're famous for their shrimp cocktail. I don't know if you saw the video I posted, but I tried their famous shrimp cocktail. Woohoo, that was spicy. In a unique way. I don't know if you guys know that. I didn't even know this, but shout out to Jake Asman. He told me, he's like, Richie, you got to try the spicy shrimp. That's what they're known for, the spicy shrimp cocktail. I am a foodie. Some people don't know that. I mean, who isn't a foodie? Come on, who doesn't love food? But he told me, like, Richie, you got to try their spicy shrimp cocktail. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. I brought me, my boy Ruben, and our 2 interns. We went, and it was ridiculously spicy and delicious at the same time. And for anyone that is interested, why not? I'll show you guys the video. It was pretty funny. We got the world famous spicy shrimp cocktail here in Indianapolis. Wish me luck. I'm just gonna go in. It literally lights your nose on fire, bro. That you eat that and your entire sinus is like a flamethrower all of a sudden. So I can see why it's famous, but it was delicious. And I would have it again. But I would have it again.
But is the sinus clearer? My nose is on fire. But it's delicious.
You're on fire for like
And it's already gone.
You guys should go try it out if you ever go to Indianapolis. I wouldn't really recommend that city, by the way. No offense to anybody watching if you're from there. Wasn't the greatest city in the world. But let's get into some callers, man. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. Feels good to be live, bro. It's been a minute. It has been a long minute since your boy's been live. Let me just set up the callers. You guys want to call in? I don't bite. I enjoy everybody calling in. And who better to introduce than my boy Matthew Wilson, your favorite future sportscaster. I think I hear a little echo. Is that on me?
Is that me? Can you hear me? You see your echo? We straight?
I can hear you.
Is there still echo? Was it good?
Yeah.
We good?
No, we're good.
All right.
We're good, bro. First of all, welcome, man. How you doing, Matthew?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, I had to bother you. Like, if anybody's wondering who's bothering Richie in his spare time, most likely it's me, because Richie is, I'm saying, he's the guy. I got to get the info. But salute to you, man. Looks like you had a great time at the Combine, bro. It took a little bit to get there, but it looks like you had a good time.
I had a great time, bro, and I appreciate that. And I'm sorry if I bother you too much. But for those that don't know who this guy is, Mr. Matthew Wilson, he is the face of Jets Roundtable. So if you guys are not subscribed to the Jets Roundtable, please consider doing it. He's doing fantastic work over there. It's me, Matt O'Leary, and Jake Asman doing a weekly live stream. And then we have clips uploading. But then we have videos being uploaded on the channel that is from our guy, Matthew. Matthew, you've been absolutely killing it. So, guys, I want to make sure that they're aware of this. Because look at you out there killing it, Matthew. You enjoying it?
Yes, sir. I learned from the best, man. You know what I'm saying? I learned from the best. Richie's been amazing, guys. I can't emphasize this enough to you, that you guys have like a real Jets fan who gives you guys real news, doesn't give you the BS, tells you exactly how it feels. It's great to be learning under the tutelage under Richie. If you are tuning in, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. You already know what it is. Support the guy, because he's always going to keep it real with you, man. It's been a pleasure, man. It's been great breaking down the Jets, man. Like, it's of course, as Jets fans, you know how it is, man. It gets depressing watching the team do bad. So last season, like, as my first season really covering the Jets, was rough. But now it's time for like good vibes. It's the off season. Anytime there's an opportunity to change, I'm saying, you need to be uplifted, and especially to the Aaron Glenn people. He slept at the Combine. Can we relax? Like, if you like Richie said, like, I don't know if you guys know how much goes into the combine. So if Aaron Glenn needs to catch a snooze during the 40-yard time, all they need to do is tell him what the time is when he wakes up. So let's kind of relax. Oh
Yeah,
my God, man.
you just gotta relax. I agree, and I appreciate the kind words. You're absolutely killing it. We need more you guys in the chat. Go subscribe to the Jets Roundtable. Check out his content. We have people in the chat that have been tuning into your shows, man. How about that?
Sir. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all been super supportive, man. Whether the comments are good or bad, I want them. I like what I do is strictly for the fans. We doing this new thing where we're giving you guys like hopefully daily updates. It's a little bit slow. Free agency videos are going to start picking up. Updates going to start picking up. But I do this for y'all, man, because you know we a family, man. We struggle together. I always start my videos saying that. So anybody that supports on the Jets Roundtable, I've seen my shows. Thank you very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Without you guys, without what I'm doing isn't possible. But Richie, I got a couple questions for you. I need a couple questions.
Please fire them away.
All right, talk about this quarterback situation. Did you stayed for the quarterback drills?
I did.
And all that?
Everybody left. I was there all alone out of the guys I was with.
Awesome. Who looked the best to you in between? You know, Carson. You named Carson Beck. I wasn't expecting you to name that name. You named Carson Beck, Drew Aller, Tai Simpson, who I don't necessarily like. There's been a lot of momentum from what I'm hearing when it comes to Tai Simpson. So, two-part question: Who looked the best to you on the field during the combine with their intangibles, and how realistic is it a possibility for the Jets to have Tai Simpson at pick 16?
Yeah, so great question. I think that the quarterbacks that really separated themselves the most at the combine from the interviews and the drills is Drew Aller. He was someone that's supposed to be a first-round pick last year. His arm was on full display, and that's what we knew about him. He's 6'5", big, tall, make the throws over the middle of the field. He lacks the footwork, so we expected him to go out there and flash, and he did that. So Drew Aller is definitely someone that I think did a lot for himself in the combine. Tai Simpson, you said it. How realistic is it that the Jets get him at 16? I think it's extremely unrealistic because I don't think he's going to be available at 16.
Me neither.
I think he's going to go way before then, and I've been telling you guys that for a while. A lot of people are like, oh, the Jets should get Simpson at 33. Not happening either. So if the Jets want Tai Simpson, he wants to be a Jet at pick 2 based off of the sources I have. So if the Jets want to get him, they're going to have to either trade up from 16 or get him at 2. Those are the two options they have. If they don't like him, then they won't draft him at either of those spots. And I don't know if Tai Simpson is good enough in order to sacrifice that type of capital to trade up or to draft him at that blue chip spot at pick number 2. But what I do know is if they do pick him at number 2 and he becomes a franchise quarterback that we've been looking for, no one's going to care that we passed up on those blue chip talent because that's the quarterback we've been missing. Well, that position we've been missing forever. So that's really what I can say. And then Carson Beck, you did mention, he did look really good, actually. He was in a hostile environment, bro. He was getting booed at the combine. Every single time he touched the ball.
Oh, my God. Really?
He was getting booed because it was Indiana Hoosier fans took over the stadium, and they went up against Carson Beck in the championship game, and apparently Carson Beck didn't shake Fernando Mendoza's hands, so they don't like him. The poor guy's out there. Every single time he touches the ball, boo. Imagine getting booed on a job interview.
Mm-hmm. Right. How did he handle it though? Did the workout still go great?
Yeah, he looked pretty good. He's someone that I was actually impressed with. I think that his ability to handle the boos, you can see he had a little smirk on his face. I actually saw him out to breakfast the day of the combine where he was about to throw, and I wished him good luck. And he went out there and he was slinging the ball around. He wasn't phased. He's someone that has like a high floor and a low ceiling type of guy where like I don't see him as anybody that's going to be great in the league, but he's someone that feels like could be a middle of the road, like stable quarterback. So I could see the Jets go get Carson Beck in the mid rounds.
That's interesting. That's why I asked you about how he handled the pressure, because you know how New York Jets fans are. If he's stinking it up, like I like to hear that. Like if that's a good test for me. Like now that name gets added to my list in Carson Beck. If they're booing you during your combine and you smirk and you're able to handle that, I like the swagger from quarterbacks like that, especially if they're like a possibility they can become a New York Jet. So I like that. Another question. I'm hearing about Minkah Lemon. Now, you know how you saw the video that I said we got to get Garrett Wilson some help. I've been a big proponent. If Minkah Lemon is available at 16, to just go ahead and get him. get Garrett Wilson some help. I know how you feel about A.D. Mitchell. To me, it's still like a wait and see. He's only been here for like a Coke and a smile. I get the talent, but I still would like to add more wide receiver talent around Garrett Wilson and feel like Mekhi Lemon is one of those guys. I'm hearing that he didn't do so well during his interviews and his draft stock might be sliding. I thought that maybe he wouldn't be available at 16. Maybe that seems like that could be an option at this point. Did you hear anything about at the combine about Mekhi Lemon and his struggles with the interviews?
Yeah, so, fun story about Mekhi Lemon is, shout out Roundtable Sports, Matthew, because we have our first TikTok over 1 million views.
Salute. Okay.
And that was this video of my question to Mekhi Lemon, asking him what would it feel like to be paired up with Garrett Wilson and what was your meeting like with the Jets? So he was going viral for his energy at the combine, if you would call it that. So look at that, man. 1.1 million views.
Nice,
So let's play it. Kai, have you met with the New York Jets?
Yes, sir.
How would it feel to be paired up with Garrett Wilson?
It'll be a blessing for sure. Type of game he has, I feel like I'll run well with him.
Kai. So didn't say much, but apparently he bombed his interviews.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I don't know how real that is, but I think his press conference that went viral is getting a little bit blown up, a little bit too much. But then you hear that the interviews he had with the coaches and the scouts was the same way. These interviews are big, man. It's not just about how you look on the field. It's like, how do you go about your business? How are you mentally? A lot of people are testing their football knowledge. And if he's coming off like arrogant and like, I'm like already here without even getting there type of vibes, hey, I don't know. Maybe he'll fall. But I love his ability to go out there and be a Jet at pick 16. I think him being paired up with Garrett Wilson and Adonai Mitchell would be pretty amazing. But I don't know. I can't read too much into the interviews yet because I've got to see a little bit more time pass before those real nuggets come out.
Yeah, because it was a little bit concerning to me to hear that report because I remember Muji's press conference where they're talking about the guys that they want to draft is, of course, it's about talent. But they also want to make sure they're high character guys. So when I heard this report about Mekhi Lemon, it kind of like made me kind of question, okay, is Mekhi Lemon still going to be a guy that they want to target? Well, hopefully that's still the case. We need to get G5 some help. Like I'm with you on the defense thing. We need to prioritize defense first. Historically, the Jets have always ran as a better franchise when the defense was first. You can even look as close back as when they had Zach Wilson. Then you had what's his name? Sanchez. So whenever they have these quarterbacks and they win more than 5 games, the defense has been excellent. So I'm totally with you when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think there's other wide receivers. Yeah, I think there's other wide receivers they can go after. And to pair up with Garrett Wilson, what they do need more than anything is a freaking quarterback, as we all know. That's really what he needs. But I'm all in on getting another weapon. I think they should target someone. Maybe someone falls, too, to pick 33, like a Casey Conception or someone like that. You never know. But, Matthew, salute to you. I appreciate you calling in. And everybody go check out the Jets Roundtable for more content. And I appreciate you, brother. Salute.
Yes, sir. Salute. Have a good show, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Matthew. That's Matthew Wilson, your future favorite sportscaster, coming in, reporting to you live. Good questions from him. I think he had some really good questions. If you guys want to check him out on the Jets Roundtable, I would appreciate that, man. He's doing a phenomenal job over there, continuing to grind and help build that show up. Okay, so awesome stuff there. Let's keep the phone lines active. We got Lissell is up next. What's up, Lissell?
What's good? What's good, man? You hear me?
What's good, man? I hear you.
Oh, okay. Glad that you were finally able to get to the combine.
Thank you, my friend.
I know about the snowstorm. It was hell in New Jersey. That snowstorm. So when I heard that they were gonna close like the air traffic like for another day, I'm like, I thought, yeah, that's kind of fair. Like it's because the snow was still coming, the snow was still going. It's like fuck.
Yeah, it was brutal, man.
But I have a question for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
With this quarterback class not being as great as we hoped it was going to be, as great as people thought it was going to be, I feel like I would rather go with, like people talking about Tai Simpson, and you're talking about Tai Simpson being trying to get the second overall pick, and obviously, like, he's gonna try to do that, no doubt. But would you rather go with like a project that maybe could grow and it doesn't, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't really matter.
So your
And then you
question
go
is more of
into
a project in the draft
Yeah.
or a more established veteran in free agency, or what do you mean?
No, I'm saying the veteran is probably gonna happen. I'm saying getting the project in the draft. Don't go for the first round quarterback like a Tai Simpson, he's probably gonna be that now.
So like
That's what I'm
Tai
trying to
Simpson
say.
in your eyes is not a project.
No, I think it's a project, but it's a project that's getting hyped up because there's not.
So
a
you're
lot of
saying like
good
instead of
players.
going after a mid-round quarterback that's a project, go after someone at the top, like a Ty Simpson.
No. I'm saying don't go after a Tai Simpson. I feel like
Don't.
you shouldn't go after a Tai Simpson.
You want to go after
because
a
he's
project.
being hyped up. Because it's being hyped up because of the fact that this quarterback class is not as great as
Gotcha. I
week
gotcha.
prior. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yep. Thank you for the call, Lascelles. So basically what he's trying to say is this class is not great. So do you want to go after someone like a Ty Simpson that's maybe getting inflated? Say Ty Simpson was in a quarterback in 2 years ago's class. Where would he get drafted? Right? Would he be at the top? Or is this quarterback class so bad that he's now getting hyped up? So it's a good question from Lascelles. You don't want to, take a swing on a quarterback just because you have to. You want to make sure you love the guy. So great question there. Kyler feels inevitable. I hope I'm wrong. Joe the Jet G is scared. Now, yeah, previous Jets energy will prove that could be the case. Appreciate the super chat. Tony with a super chat. Dolphins will finish in the basement. # smoke Bob. I wish I had Bob to smoke, but I don't. But yeah, I hope so. I sure hope that's the case. I agree, man. Folks, we were live here for over an hour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button on your way out. We're going to wrap up the show here. If you want to see more Jets Media live content, let me know because I've been prioritizing other things. I'll do some lives. I'll do some videos. I'll do a lot of different stuff here on the channel. So make sure you guys let me know if you enjoyed this 1 hour live. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. I missed you guys going live. We had 5 super chats come in. So appreciate to all these super chats. It really does mean a lot to the channel. So we're going to wrap up the show here, guys. Thank you so much. St. Louis, Missouri also here. Love to see that. We have people tuning in all across the globe, all across the nation as well. You guys are awesome. Cannot thank you guys enough for supporting Jets Media and Roundtable Sports as we are traveling the world, traveling the country to do so. And Spidey Munns, I know you're asking about 4th and Forever. We're actually making a return tomorrow, Spidey, for 4th and Forever on the Roundtable Sports channel. So stay tuned for that. AFC East Roundtable on Wednesday. So Roundtable Sports will be live. We're coming back, baby. We're coming back. What's the name of the Mets channel? Now, I don't have a Mets channel anymore, but if you want Mets content, my boy Wardy, NYM, is the guy. I'll put that in the, it's my good friend Wardy, NYM, the top Mets content creator on YouTube. And I don't have a Mets channel anymore. It was Mets Media, but I can't handle covering the Mets on top of everything else. But I do cover the Knicks. If you have any Knicks fans in the chat, I do have a Knicks Media YouTube channel, so go check that out. McLean for Cy Young, you know it, baby. LGM. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. Love you as always. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Happy March.